Hi, I'm Batista at drfitnessusa.com. So posture. Posture is by far one of the most overlooked aspects of a healthy lifestyle. Now, for sure, there are instances of bad posture that are genetic. But many times, posture is a result of muscular imbalances that we acquire over time by poor movement biomechanics. So when you have an imbalance and, for example, you use one part of your body more than the other, things start to shift. It produces kind of like a tug of war that in time will just become a permanent postural misalignment condition. One of the most prominent postural misalignment condition is forward head posture. It's also known as text neck. Now imagine this, your head weighs about as much as a bowling ball, which is 10 to 12 pounds. Now your head is supposed to sit on your shoulders in a straight line. But because of lifestyle and computer, now we are finding forward head posture to become a chronic condition, even in young people. Now, for every half an inch that your head slumps forward, it adds about 5 to 6 pounds of pressure on your neck. And then the consequences of that can result in disc and joint herniation, disc damage, sciatica. As a matter of fact, I want to have a word about disc damage, because a lot of times we hear people say, oh, my back just went out. Well, your back did not just go out. Over time, because poor movement biomechanics, you forced your body to compensate in certain direction, put a lot of stress on the joints and the tendons, and one day out of nowhere, you did a movement that seemed maybe insignificant and your back went out. Other conditions could be muscle strain, of course, frozen shoulder, carpal tunnel, fibromyalgia, yes, fibromyalgia, arthritis. Bad posture affects the internal organs, digestion, the way you breathe. It can give you tension, headaches, stress, premature aging.
When I am, as a doctor, look on your x-ray, I determine what age you are, not biologically, related to the stress on the bones.
The curvature of the back is supposed to have a nice, several interesting arches, just like a bridge, that hold your body in a position of power and strength.
If you're doing exercise correctly, you become ageless. You can be 70, 80 years old with a bone of 20 years old. And if your bone is already arthritic, you can reverse it, because bone is alive and respond to the stress.
Poor posture also affects mood behavior. It's hard to stay depressed when you walk around with your shoulders back, confident, in charge of your destiny. I mean, next time you're depressed and you're walking around like this, try to lift your body up and look at the world from a different perspective. The world will also look at you from a different perspective.
So Troy, give me your
Sure.
relaxation pose.
Okay, here we go.
Why do you use that stance?
Because it's the most comfortable position that I have when I want to be quiet and I want to calm down. So
Okay.
it feels very safe and secure, and this is what's comfortable.
Now, if I ask you to lift your chest up and shoulders back, now what happens?
Well, this feels like work now. If I do this, I can't comfortably put my hands here anymore.
So in the body design formula, which is very specific, what happens is when you're going into your comfortable pose,
My shoulders.
that's how you support your emotions.
Yes.
So when I lift your chest up, now it's uncomfortable, even though it's a correct way of showing yourself to the world. So in body design, I'm an ergonomic expert, where I create a platform so that your body lays in a certain direction or comfort zone in this correct posture, and eventually it'll support your emotions comfortably because the body will revert itself to this natural position by supportive muscle structure in the blueprint that I create or design for your body.
One thing about Hershey is that he's able to get down to the point of where you actually acknowledge and know why you're angry, why it doesn't feel good. The best thing that I've ever found about someone who really understands me is someone who's able to get down to the root cause. And generally I found that my root cause has been how angry and upset I've been for years. And after working with Mr. Hershey, I was able to actually finally be okay.
Poor posture affects the way you look. Round shoulder, pot belly, knees bent when you walk. Basically, it makes you look like you have a lack of self-confidence, like a lack of charisma. It's unattractive. Basically, it makes you look old. So next time you want to go spend hundreds of dollars on cream to get rid of your wrinkles, consider taking a look at your posture and look at where you stand, because wrinkles sure makes us look older, but posture is what makes you really look old.
A lot of women have tremendously beautiful legs, but their upper body forms a position kind of like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And that's very unbecoming. It shows premature aging. And women don't understand, or they've never been educated, that there's an opportunity to create a different type of presentation to match the beauty of their legs. Kind of a slimmer waistline, shoulders back, head up, electrifying posture in the real world.
I learned a lot working out with Steve to understand how the body functions and how to correct the right alignment to improve the muscle strength in the same time to correct the posture.
No, the only way, or the anecdote, is that you need to do opposing exercises in a different direction to realign your posture. It has to be done specifically through strength training, which Body Design Formula provides.
So how do we correct posture? Well, first, we need to learn proper movement biomechanics. It's the first thing. We need to learn how to perform activities correctly by maintaining body positioning during movements. And we need to learn how to use our muscles efficiently. Now, how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to know where we're at, because most people don't even realize they have bad posture. As a matter of fact, many times we talk to people and we talk about posture, and they would say, oh, I have good posture, my father was in the army. But you can't will or think good posture. What happens is you need to develop the synergetic muscles around the spine and in the shoulders, your back, so that you can hold the good posture naturally. This is done in the gym with strength training. What you need to do first is to take a picture of your body from the front, from the side, and from the back. If you have long hair, you need to pull your hair up so that you can see where your neck aligns. Okay? And in the back too, so you can see your shoulders where they align. If you're crooked, one side is higher than the other, or your hip are out of balance. Once you know where you stand, then you can start using the opposing muscle principle. You got to work against it. So, for example, we see people that are like this, and then they go do an activity, an exercise, for example, bicep curl, and they do it like this on a bench. Now you see what happens? If you have bad posture and your shoulders are rounded, then you would need to find a way of doing the exercise maybe on an incline bench where your body is supported and your shoulders are back, where you can actually do the movement while keeping your shoulders back. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I mean, look at the difference. If you do it like this, you kind of, all squished like this very hard, but you angulate yourself a little bit so you have freedom of movement. And there you go. And one thing that works out really good also is to cup the hand like this. See? If you grab it like this, it puts a lot of strain on the body, but if you just do a thumbless grip, and then you just kind of cup it like this, now it's comfortable.
Who taught you that?
Dr. Fitness USA.
What happens is you get a set, and I asked Sean if that's it. The thing that's missing is you don't follow it up with anything, so you're not putting any blood into the muscle. What you're doing is you're choking the exercise. So that's okay. And here, right here, okay? Come down, and then you start to turn, because the bicep starts to work. Okay, you see the bicep in there? So if you follow up with that, you're going to start to put more blood into the muscle.
Up to the head.
Yeah, you'll follow up, you'll freak out. So put her on the floor and release the dumbbell and then go for it. Nice.
Puff your chest up. If your shoulders are rounded like this, then learn to do everything with your chest lifted. If you were to do a lat pull down, for example, many people go and do it like this. Okay, so if you see that your shoulders are like this, pull the shoulder backs and focus on lifting your chest while you do the movement. So you need to use a lot of common sense. Of course, the sequence of exercise is of vital importance. For example, if you're working on your posture and you have a sequence of exercise that are going to pull your shoulder back, then don't follow those exercises with a crunch. As a matter of fact, there are things to avoid. Plank, think about it. Planks does not your back muscles to pull back. Cycling, walking lunges with dumbbells in your hand and you're losing your balance. Not only it's going to be hard on your knees, your groin, but it's going to also destroy your posture. Chin-ups, another one. Chin-ups on the ground, trying to pull yourself up. Squat balls, another one. Basically, you need to learn how to use your body in the proper biomechanical form. You need to check the machines so that they are at the right angle. If you are seated too high, too low, that is going to affect the way you sit on the machine and the way you do the exercise. Does that make sense? So use logic, of course, in the body design formula prescription strength training by Dr. Fitness USA. The exercise sequence is all built in with the proper form and technique. So you'll save yourself about 10 years of researching of how to correct what I'm talking about.
Getting back into the gym when I was away from the gym for a couple of years because I was afraid of doing things wrong and making things worse and getting my posture the way it's supposed to be. I didn't want to make things worse. So being able to go in and learn the process of changing my body and putting the muscles, shoulders where they're supposed to go.
Batista, in 5 weeks, you worked with me. I was very out of shape. I hadn't been to the gym in years. My alignment changed. I felt it was within maybe 3 visits to a gym. It wasn't painful, and I could see that my neck was in a different position, and my body began to change.
But in 2 weeks, I've seen more change and transformation than years of doing Pilates, yoga, Rolfing, which is spine integration, and it's been phenomenal, and I love it.
What is the important about working out with somebody that really understands how to improve the body and design it for you compared to just a trainer? They can help you to become stronger. But sometimes when your muscle gets stronger and off balance, it creates more damage in the long run in your body. Compared to when you create a formula designed special for you, for your body, for your limitation, how to change your limitation to become advantage on the joints, how to make the body stronger proportionally to your posture. You will improve dramatically your health, your strength, your bones, your muscle, your posture, and even your appearance will change.
I create a platform where your body is put in the exercise position in the correct alignment, but your body is always supported. So what will happen is that when you do the exercise, you will be elated and comfortable and wanting to do more because your body is comfortable. You don't have to worry about where your posture is at. Now, in the meantime, because it's very specific, the program, to developing synergistic muscles that you may not know about or see, they will develop over time. And one day, as you stand up, that scaffolding won't be necessary because you will, lo and behold, have this great posture. And people will always ask you, what is it that's going on in your life that makes you so wonderful to the world?
So if you take a picture of your body, then that's pretty revealing. You know, just standing normally and just taking a picture from the front, from the side, to see where the neck falls. And that would be the first thing to do to be aware. Now that you have seen the picture of where you're at, where is your postural alignment at, then whatever exercise that you're going to do, you're going to use the opposing principle. That means that if your posture is like this, then when you are exercising, then you're going to try to do everything the opposite way. Reminds me of an example, a little story of Dr. Fitness USA, who was in a gym one day working next to somebody who had terrible posture. And as he's good-hearted, he started talking to this gentleman and gave him 3 exercises to incorporate in his program. And so then he went by his business and he never saw that man again. And about a year later, he saw that gentleman in a gym again. And he was completely transformed with perfect posture. And he said, well, what did you do? What happened? And the man said, well, I just did those 3 exercises you gave me. And it made a tremendous difference. It corrected his posture.
carefully and follow all the instructions to the details, and ask a lot of questions if you do not understand, because this body formula is very, very specific for you. So please call Steve Hershey to get more information, what is the best for you and how you can improve yourself in physically, mentally, and spiritually.
In the reality, I care about you, and I would like to walk with you as partners in your life.
I'm Batista at drfitnessusa.com. Bye-bye and have a blessed day.